What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You're now watching Kinetic Outcome, and we are with Michael Dacuno. So, introduce yourself.
My name is Michael Dacuno. People call me Mike. I'm a professional Muay Thai fighter, and I teach Muay Thai classes and do personal training for people. Yeah.
Awesome. So, how did you get into Muay Thai?
I just did it for fitness in the beginning, and actually I used to skateboard a lot, and then I was getting quite fat. So I decided, okay, I need to like exercise and do some stuff, and I decided just to hit up a Muay Thai gym, and next thing you know, I'm competing. Yeah.
You did mention in that moment you had your first jab.
Oh yeah, so
like somebody jabbed you.
So when, I knew I enjoyed to compete, or I guess fight in the ring, when after my first class the instructor was like, oh, okay, do some sparring, and then I was quite scared. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna get hurt, and then touch gloves, person hit me, and then realized, okay, like I don't mind, I want to get this person back. So I realized I wasn't scared of getting hurt or getting hit. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, what are the rewards and the challenges in the process? Your personal view throughout the years, let's say achievements so far. You did mention you had above 20 fights.
Yeah. I've had above 20 fights, you know, over the course of the last maybe 5 years. I've been able to compete in many different countries, mainly China, Thailand, and Hong Kong. And you know, it's a very high risk, high reward type of sport, because you're really putting yourself out there. You know, like people don't see all the hours and hours of training you put in, but they only see like 9 minutes of you in the ring. You could have like the best training camp or the worst training camp, and it could still go either way. So there's a lot of challenges. People don't see the emotional struggles you go through, let alone the physical, like day-to-day stuff you have to deal with. And yeah, but when you win, it's great. But when you know you put everything in the ring, even if you lose, it's a pretty good feeling. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. What and how do you feel about Hong Kong's approach to what you do?
You mean like what, in terms of teaching people or competing?
I guess overall, since you know the business now.
In terms of being a competitive fighter, or doing it as a, not profession, but as a passion, it can be quite difficult, especially if you're competing at a very high level. Unless you work in a gym, or you find another way to financially support yourself and people that you need to support, you have to either work in a gym or find people to support you to compete, because there's not much money. You can't really fight professionally and full-time compete, because there's no way. I mean, you don't earn enough money from fights, and you can only fight so much in a year. So most cases, most competitive level fighters I know in Hong Kong, they generally work at a gym, or they have their own students, and that's how they earn their money. Yeah.
Yeah, they did mention that if you want good fights that pay well, it's out of Hong Kong.
Yeah, in China they pay pretty well. Again, it's all about connections and who you know, and being able to market yourself better. You can be really good, but if you don't market yourself well, you don't know the right people, it can be quite difficult to find fights and get into events. And it's also like some promoters or agents will probably take a cut off your purse, meaning how much money you take away from that fight. And things can always change. Fights get canceled and stuff. So I really believe it's not that easy to compete. So if you're looking to compete at a pretty high level in Hong Kong, you shouldn't think about competing because you want the money. You know, you should do it out of passion and experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Next question is, what would you, if anything, would like to suggest or address to everyone else who are in the business or aspiring to become like you?
Okay. My biggest advice would be, if you're looking to do this full time, or you really want to do this, you have to. Yeah, there's a lot of sacrifices you have to take, and you expect it's not an easy lifestyle. You're gonna be up early. You're gonna be finishing work late, and it's very physical. You really want to have it. You really want it, because if you don't, it's not for you. It's not. On paper and in the pictures, it looks great. Like everybody's like smiling, and it looks really like awesome. But the actual work is a lot. And some days you don't even want to go to the gym, or there'll be days where you feel like you're not 100%, and part of it is just to keep going. So I suggest, if you're really looking forward to like becoming a trainer or a fighter, you have to make some sacrifices. One is like being able to set aside some time for yourself to rest. It might be even working odd jobs late at night or early mornings just to support your passion or your dream, And it's a rare chance to become really, really rich from competing or fighting. Those guys like Floyd Mayweather or Conor McGregor are like the 1% serious.
He made $9 million in one very short fight.
Yeah, but
for 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy. But that's the 1%. There's guys out there who are in the same boat,
But yeah, even Pac-Man did it out of passion.
Yeah. No, but Pac-Man is different. His story is very, very interesting. It's like proper, like from the slums, and he built himself.
The movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Movie, yeah.
Cool. But I guess the most interesting about him is just he didn't really chase the money.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
But he knew he had to make money at that young age.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, one thing though is about fighting. I have another friend who used to fight, now trains, right? So he said it's a 2-month preparation after you sign the contract to fight, and every day you need to train?
Depends. I mean, there's nothing set in stone. Depends on the promoter. Some events are more official. They'll make you sign a contract. You'll be locked for that show or event for, let's say, a 2-year contract. You have like 3 or 4 fights with them, and you're not allowed to fight or compete outside of that organization. So it depends. And generally, you need maybe a month or 4 weeks or 6 weeks, depending on how fit you are or how out of shape you are. So it's just a matter of your fitness levels and how often you compete. So I know guys who take up fights 2 weeks notice, even 7 days notice. But yeah, in general, you want to have some time. Like I prefer to have 6 weeks before a fight if I'm out of shape. But if I'm constantly competing, 3 weeks is okay even. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And next is, what makes your approach unique to your competitors? Your personal branding, let's say.
You mean for competing or
competing
work?
And coaching, the business itself for you personally?
Okay. Personally, I find in terms of fighting, I'm able to mix it up. I like to think generally I have better boxing, hands in comparison to most of the guys here. But that doesn't mean I don't know how to kick or clinch or throw elbows and knees. And I'm able to spar with different guys from different styles. In this gym, we have a lot of guys who do karate or MMA or just pure boxers. So I'm able to mix it up. So when I go enter the ring, I don't have just one tool. So I have a lot of different tools at my disposal. And in terms of work, I just really enjoy coaching, and I don't get tired of it. There's days where I'm just like tired of like repeating the same things, telling people what's their left hand from their right hand, and repeating the same words over and over again. But yeah, no, I enjoy seeing people improve and being able to pass on knowledge, not just teaching them the techniques, but the philosophy and the idea of, the art of Muay Thai or boxing or any form of striking arts. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And who do you look up to most? Could be family or other people.
I look up to a lot of people. I can't just say one. There's a lot of people for many things.
I guess name a few.
Yeah, I can name a few, like
unforgettable
my coaches,
moments.
my granddad, you know, like they've always like, I mean, like, you know, seeing, like, let's say my coaches, right? They're like mentors. Like you can see them coach other people, and you know, there's like lessons to be learned and mistakes and like different situations, and you know, like I guess if you're put in that high stress environment, you really get to know yourself. Yeah, me like, and being able to see them go through that too is like really inspiring and makes you look up to them. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, emotional barriers, outside critics, non-supporters at the time you started to where you are now?
Well, I just kept quiet about it, to be honest. Like in the beginning, I didn't tell anybody I was fighting or training even. So, yeah, it was maybe a good year before people found out I haven't even trained at all. And I haven't really met people that are haters, or I don't know, maybe I just zone it out, but I guess people make funny remarks, I guess, or like, you know, they say it seems like in a goodwill, but it's not, you get me? But I don't really care. It's like, that's their problem.
And you're too focused.
Yeah, and why do I need to spend my energy stressing over what they think? But I do care about what people close to me think about. And sometimes, you know what, even like family can be the worst barriers. They'd be saying, oh no, don't do this, like, you know, you're just gonna get hurt, there's no money in it, and you know, you just sometimes have to block that out, because I know deep down inside that this is what I want to do, and like in the end, you yourself are gonna make yourself happy. Are you gonna live your life just because of someone's point of view? Right? I mean, obviously, I'm not saying you should just like forget everything and like party all night, but I'm saying like if there's something that you think, you know, that makes you really happy and you know is for you, you shouldn't just like give it up just because I don't know, your dad said that's not the right thing because it doesn't fit his picture of the, like, you know. So
I guess the beauty is in individuality.
Yeah, and just believing in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, who will believe in you, right? So
the same thing I always say, they don't pay your bills, so
yeah,
don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, before the last question, I just wanted to roll it back a bit about the injuries and what advice would you give on that in terms of I don't know, protecting themselves, conditioning.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I need to tell everybody is to start stretching more. Like seriously, I'm lazy. I don't stretch, but now I'm starting to feel like certain things in my neck, my back. Like, you know, when old people say you should stretch, like older athletes tell me, or coaches say, like, oh, you should stretch. Like, you should take that advice. And if you're doing something, you know, at any competitive level, be it football, basketball, injuries are bound to happen. You're gonna pick up injuries. If you don't, it means you're not competing at a very high level, or you're not pushing yourself. I'm not saying you should tear your ACL, but I'm saying it's a possibility, especially if you're really going for it, right? And you know, sometimes an injury could be a blessing or a curse. So there's one time I broke my hand, actually 2 times, and the first time I needed surgery because it was during the fight. Both of them were during the fight, and it broke in the last round. I was still able to continue fighting and finish the fight, right, and win, but I had to go to the hospital straight after. And during the whole process of getting the surgery done and not being able to use this hand, I was able to focus on the other limb, using my right hand, using my legs more. So, you know, like, but it made me more cautious when it comes to punching, but it also made my technique become sharper. So, yeah. But injuries are bound to happen. It's just whether or not you let it get to you, you know. And most of the guys I know have 1 or 2 injuries already. Some more serious, some less serious. Yeah.
And you injured twice, and you said you wanted to fight.
Yeah.
So you're like, ooh, ah, shit.
No, yeah, it was funny. It's like I didn't feel. I felt it when it was the third round. It was 2016, no 14, I forget. And we were wearing MMA gloves, so I threw a big hook to the guy's head, and I heard a crack. I was hoping it was just like a sprain. Seriously, I was like, oh. And then threw a few more jabs, and I felt like the bone rattle. I was like, oh no. So I just held my hand out, just threw more kicks, and yeah. So the fight's done. I was happy. They took off the glove, but it was swollen, so yeah, I had to spend the night at the hospital. Yeah.
Okay, at least you were still able to finish it.
Yeah.
You just
I
had to hold this back, right?
Yeah. And it didn't really hurt during the fight with all the adrenaline, and you don't feel anything. But it was after, it was really bad. I couldn't even move it properly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, last question is plans for next year, perhaps, or what to look forward to? Like, you're gonna have a fight soon, right?
Yeah. This year I've got a couple fights lined up. In 2 weeks I'll be going to Thailand for a fight in Pattaya. It's called Max Muay Thai, one of the bigger events in Thailand. And then in April, probably another fight in Hong Kong, and hopefully a couple more in May and August and October. So I got a few fights lined up this year. Quite happy about that. Next year, nothing concrete yet, but the same. I try to get a fight every month, or if not every other month, just to stay busy, you know. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Michael, we're going to put some links down there. Just check it out. Instagram, Facebook. Follow me too. Kinetic Outcome.
ในตามมาที่มุมราคาครับสลับขาหลอกทีบขวาเข้าไปไปทำมาโอ้โหเต็มกับหลังทองเอาเลยครับโดนจนได้ครับโอ้ยแล้วร่วงเลยครับโอ้เตะขวาแล้วหุบขวาสวนเข้าไปครับเอาเลยครับทางด้านฉลามทอง
All right, ladies and gentlemen, of the 3 rounds of actions, we go to the judges' scorecard for the winner. Blue corner, Michael Dacuno และคุณผู้ชมครับคู่มวยคู่นี้ต้องขอขอบคุณ